already getting on the back end of this. So that means the rain threat's starting to really wind down, but doesn't mean the flash flooding is. All this rain's got to go somewhere. It's going to flow into those low-lying spots, areas that have poor drainage, typical flooding spots, maybe even more than that in some spots. Could see some flash flooding issues. That's why they put out that flash flood emergency for the Little Rock Metro. That line right here extending from Jacksonville, Scott, all the way down towards southern portions of Pulaski County. Now, I know I'm going to continue to focus on Little Rock here, but we need to look to see further down south on this line how far it is extending, just to show other people at home that could be impacted here. All the way down towards Dallas County, Sheridan, still severe thunderstorm warning all the way down towards Fordyce and Camden. So this storm, what you just saw, I showed you on camera if you joined us, that wall of rain, that wind shaking the camera there, and how quickly the visibility just reduced to nothing due to the heavy rainfall. That's all moving towards these same locations as well, from Fordyce to Hampton. But we're with the heaviest impact of this right now in the Little Rock Metro. So Maumelle and then Chenal Mountain, those locations now on the back end of this storm. So that's good news. But areas out ahead from Cabot down to Jacksonville, Scott, England, next in line for this strong line of strong storm moving off towards the east. So we'll also have to watch for any little little arms here on this line for any rotation for a quick spin up tornado, and thankfully have not seen any signs of that. So mainly just a wind threat with some heavy rainfall as this storm slides off towards east. So I'm going to go turn back over here and look at the National Weather Service, see what their chat is showing with any potential damage. If you're seeing anything after this storm moves through, please send us your pictures safely on KATV.com/chime in. We can relay those to the National Weather Service to let them know of what you are seeing back home. So we'll look again at, let me refresh power outages to see. Okay, so Cam, I'm going to refresh this page here, and then we're going to look at the power outages once again because we have a significant jump here. Cam, if you could take storm scan, and we can show folks at home the power outages here across central Arkansas. Really has bumped up if you've stayed with us in the last couple of minutes. Saline County now up to 14,000, just under 15,000 power outages. Pulaski County at 15,000. So this line is producing some strong winds and some very dangerous lightning that's also probably blowing some transformers and causing some power outages. So that's why we're on air, not for any tornado warning, but just because this is a highly impactful storm that is moving through the Little Rock Metro with a high population, as well as that flash flooding concern with this as it continues to slide off towards the east. So seeing some reports of some trees down just in some areas of Little Rock, but the National Weather Service said that there was a 67-mile-per-hour gust in North Little Rock Airport just a moment ago. So that is above severe limits. That's near 70 miles per hour. We're going to go back to the camera out here showing you the Capitol and what we're still seeing. Lots of lightning flashes. It looks a little bit better visibility-wise than when it looked like 5 to 10 minutes ago. But the camera's still shaking. Very frequent wind or lightning still with this as well. And the very, very torrential rainfall. We've already picked up in some spots just since yesterday over 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of rainfall. So that's why there's some horrible flash flooding concerns here as we go for this storm moving through the Little Rock Metro. So we'll do another look at radar reflectivity to show you where the storm is located at now through East Little Rock. So we're getting on the tail end of it here in Little Rock. We'll pull out right here towards areas of Scott, Jacksonville, Lone Oak. You'll be next in line with this. Again, this storm moving very, very quickly off towards the east. Let me see exactly how fast it's moving, and we can get the next people in the path of this storm that's producing some very gusty winds. So 55 miles per hour. So I'm going to draw a track here through areas of eastern Pulaski County and off towards Lone Oak County here. So 55 miles per hour. So Cabot, you're next in line, 11:31, next 10 minutes for this strong storm that's producing damage, wind damage, and some very strong winds up to 67 miles per hour. Heavy rainfall as well. Carlisle, you'd be next, 11:42 a.m. Hazen 11:52, Des Arc 12 o'clock, and then the Brinkley area, if this continues to hold together, just around 12:17. So we're still going to stick on with this as it moves off towards the east for a little bit longer, still tracking that line of storms and looking for other reports of any tree damage or power line damage here across areas of central Arkansas. So let's see what the video is showing out there when we look at our tower cam here in the Little Rock Metro. Still some very heavy rainfall. Don't need to be outside with this storm moving through. Car or just standing out there, those gusty winds, could blow some tree limbs down and could impact you. So you don't want to be outside for this. Getting the innermost part of your home away from windows. You see the rain's kind of lightening up here a little bit, so that's some good news. I was just showing you that we're kind of getting on the back side of this here in Little Rock, but we'll wait again for a little bit for more power outage reports here in the Little Rock Metro. But one more look at this line of storms overstretching areas from Faulkner County all the way down towards just to the east of Dallas County, heading towards closer to Jefferson County here rather shortly. So loading the screen back up here for you. So Lake Conway all the way down towards Sheridan, northwest of Pine Bluff. That's where this line is stretching from. So Cabot, Carlisle, England, Scott, those locations next in line for this storm that has a history of producing greater than 65-mile-per-hour winds. And with how saturated the grounds are, I mean, that won't take much to bring down some trees. So I'm going to look through also some pictures online here shortly to see if there's been any more indications of tree damage or any kind of damage through from this line of storms that moved through Saline County earlier, Hot Springs, and other spots there in central Arkansas. So we'll look at velocity, looking at the winds from this storm. You can see just kind of stretched out from Cabot, around Cabot, all the way down towards Furlough, around I-40 off towards the east, all the way down to England. Just a strong line of wind moving off towards the east-northeast very quickly. So we're on the back end of this now here in the Little Rock Metro. Very quiet now, likely towards 4:30 and 6:30, southwest towards Alexander, Benton, those locations. On the back end of this now, but down towards northwest Jefferson County, Redfield, England, Lone Oak County, continuing through Lone Oak, Cabot, next in line, and eventually BB too. BB will get in with this storm. So stay away from windows. Don't go out and get in this storm. This storm means business and has a history of producing some strong winds, causing some power outages. So also that flash flood emergency continues for the Little Rock Metro. You don't see those very often. That's a very rare thing. That's the highest in the scale in terms of flash flood warnings that they will issue from the National Weather Service. And that's due to the rainfall amounts that we've seen here in the last 3 to 4 days, likely pushing 10 inches or so here across areas of Pulaski County. I mean, I'll step on camera here and show you. And this radar estimate is not really overdoing things. It is pretty true, showing that there's been some widespread areas from Garland County to Hot Spring County, all the way up towards Searcy, towards closer to White County, in those areas, of 8, 9, 10 inches of rainfall just in the last 4 days, and that's why flash flooding was just a major concern. So don't drive through any flooded roadways. If you're in an area that is flood prone, try to maybe go somewhere else, as water will quickly rise here with this heavy rainfall moving through these areas. I don't want to underestimate the power of floodwaters. That's one of the silent killers when it comes in terms of severe weather in not only the state of Arkansas, but throughout the United States as well. So that line now moving through Jacksonville down towards England, the Cabot area, Valonia, on the tail end of that as well. And they're going to continue to slide this severe thunderstorm warning off towards the east. We'll also have to watch areas of southeast Arkansas for any additional storm development. There is a risk for some isolated tornadoes today, but right now the main concern is this line of damaging winds that is moving through areas of central Arkansas and through I-40. So a look at the severe thunderstorm or the tornado watch that we have is still from Hot Springs to Searcy, east and southeast Arkansas. That goes until 7 o'clock. But as this storm moves through this line, there'll be some colder air that continues to push off towards the south and east. That will drastically improve our chances from not seeing severe weather here in the Little Rock area. So that's good news. We'll still have some rain in and out of the central Arkansas area, but south of I-40 and locations down towards the southeast corner of the state will have the greater risk for severe weather as we go later into the afternoon compared to where we are in central Arkansas. And it's still nothing like we saw yesterday in some spots or even on Wednesday. But we'll have to continue to stay severe weather aware. Here's the latest image there from the tower cam showing the Capitol. Rain, I mean, if you joined with us 10, 15 minutes ago, you couldn't even see what was going on the camera there. You couldn't see the Capitol, couldn't see anything in the Little Rock Metro. So it's good seeing the rain start to ease on up and slide off towards the east, towards some other areas here other than the Metro. So we'll do another full scope of where this line continues to slide off towards the east. I'm also going to hunt through some areas of some damage pictures to see if there's any of that. But over from Conway, or east of Conway, so Cabot, those locations all the way down towards Pine Bluff, that's where that line is going to start moving through here shortly. The severe thunderstorm warning continues until 11:45. The highest report we've seen is around 67-mile-per-hour winds from this storm earlier. So this storm is producing some very, very strong winds as it slides off towards the east. So I'm going to continue to refresh to see if there's any pictures sent to us from maybe some damage out of the Little Rock area. I showed you a little bit ago of the power outages, and they were just quickly rising. Thankfully, you're not seeing too many pictures coming out now. That likely tells me that people were actually, doing the right thing and staying indoors away from this storm as it moved through. So Cam, I don't know if you can pull back up storm scan again so we can show everybody how many power outages we're at. We were around 19,000 just a little bit ago as this line has moved through Saline County and Pulaski County, now in Lonoke County. Starting to see those power outages really rise. You're up to 20,000 power outages in Saline County, so Benton, Bryant, those locations, Haskell, Pulaski County now just under 40,000. But we will likely see that continue to rise as it's on the eastern side of the county now. Grant County 1,000, Hot Spring County 4,000 power outages down towards Clark County. So this line is producing some strong winds, and I've mentioned a couple times that it won't take much to really cause any trees to go down. So well, we'll take back on Max 1 here. Thank you, Cam. Looking at that flash flood warning still including areas of the Little Rock Metro. This line now to the east of the heaviest of the rain in Lonoke County down towards Jefferson County, but we just had some probably the most torrential rains that we've had out of this 4-day rain event, quickly accumulating, running off. The ground's not going to soak this stuff in. We have such saturated grounds. This is going to run off into any low-lying area. So if anybody was caught in this storm as it was moving through any of those low-lying areas, it could be a little scary situation there. So if you come upon any flooded roads, bridges, overpasses, low-lying areas, do not cross through them. If it's got water rushing over it, it doesn't matter if you got a really tall vehicle, tall truck. It takes only 2 feet of moving water to wash your vehicle off the road, including yourself. So don't take a chance on it. Just wait until it recedes or try to find an alternate route. So there's that severe thunderstorm stretching from areas around Conway, Cabot, just east of Jacksonville, heading towards Carlisle, England, down towards areas of Jefferson County. Just might clip the northern edge of Pine Bluff, but this is sliding off towards the east, towards Carlisle, and eventually heading towards maybe the Brinkley area. Stuttgart would be next in line. But areas from Conway, Benton, Little Rock, we're starting to get on the back end of this, which is some very good news. So waiting for additional reports of maybe some gust reports. 67 mile per hour in North Little Rock Airport moments ago. Other than that, we're still waiting to see if there's been any damage pictures. We saw numerous power outages, thousands quickly rising as this line moved through. So there likely will be some tree damage or power line damage from this storm. If you come upon any power lines as well, don't get around those. Don't get around the power lines. So Heber Springs all the way down towards areas of Conway. That's not severe, just some heavy rainfall. That's why there's flash flood warnings. We'll take another scope at the flooding risk or the flood watches and warnings that we're seeing right now across the state. Just about the entire, well, now it is. Chico County was the last county to not be in the flood watch, flash flood watch. They're now included. Everybody's under a flood watch, flash flood watch until 7 a.m. tomorrow. So flash flood warning stretching from all the way to I-30 towards Arkadelphia, D-Light, all the way towards Hot Springs, Little Rock, Russellville, Yale County, Danville, all the way towards northeast Arkansas, all under a flash flood warning due to the amount of rain that we've seen here in the last couple of days. It's not taking much to cause some flash flooding issues. We've seen reports of roads washing away in portions of Garland County, Lonsdale area, that's right there on the border of Garland County and Saline County. There's been some water rescues to some animals, some livestock out in those locations. So very heavy rainfall as this storm continues to slide off towards the east. So here's another look at the live shot here. Still seeing some lightning, but the rain's calmed down enough where we got some visibility here in the Little Rock Metro, and we're getting on the back end of this storm. So we're going to continue to track it as it is moving off towards the east along I-40 towards Lone Oak, down towards England, Carlisle, you'd be next. And thankfully, even though the strong winds will do some damage, haven't seen any areas of rotation or any areas of concern that would cause, you know, maybe a quick spin-up tornado or anything. So going to continue to monitor the power outages, going to continue to monitor the pictures that are being sent to us on katv.com/chime-in. And once we get those pictures in, we can show y'all what y'all are seeing across areas of central Arkansas. So we're going to continue to monitor any information, new information that we continue to get from this event. So Cam, I don't know if you can take our screen here real quick on storm scan, but still seeing some images like this. This is a flash flooding there. This is in Hot Springs Village, sent to us from Jay Owens. Water up to the lower part of that business there. It looks like it could be a salon or something. Many areas are enduring some flash flooding like this. So that's why there's flash flood warnings out. That's why we had the Weather Prediction Center and other areas had the high flood risk today, is because of how much rain we've seen the last couple of days and how much rain we saw from this that just moved through, leading to many images likely of this coming here very shortly here across central Arkansas. So we're going to load. Still not seeing any additional customers out, but there's a delay. It probably lasts 15 minutes until we get the next one, or less than that. So if we can take it back to Max 1 Cam to show the line of storms sliding off towards the east, we got a new severe thunderstorm warning now, including areas of Jefferson County all the way just to the north of Star City. Stuttgart, you're now included in this severe thunderstorm warning that has a history, especially near the Little Rock area, of producing some strong winds. The National Weather Service just said Little Rock Air Force Base had a 69-mile-per-hour wind gust, so that's nearly 70-mile-per-hour winds earlier with this storm, and still could be producing the same as it slides off towards the east. So we'll look at the velocity of the winds in the storm to see if there's still indication of some strong winds, and it appears there are still from between Lone Oak around I-40 towards Carlisle. So anyone living around State Highway 13, some strong line of winds going through there. BB, some winds going up through those locations. Antioch and just east of El Paso now, we'll see some strong winds moving into some of those locations. So away from windows. If you saw it 20 minutes ago, we had, I mean, there was no visibility. It's just not a storm you want to mess with getting out into. So we'll continue to track this storm off towards the east and monitor any additional information that we're getting from the National Weather Service and from you back home from this storm. So no other really concerns right now for areas of South Arkansas except for the wind potential. And the good news is, look behind this storm towards Hot Springs, down towards areas of D-Light and southwest Arkansas. Still seeing some showers, but not the heavy rainfall like this storm is producing. So that's good. That would hopefully ease up with some flash flooding concerns there, but a lot of that rain still got to go somewhere as it runs off. So flash flooding will likely continue in these spots for a couple more hours, and then we have to talk about the possibility of some major flooding in some of the rivers here across the state. So Searcy, next in line for this storm that's moving up towards your direction. BB, it's right on your doorstep. Carlisle, all the way down towards England. Stuttgart as well. So we'll time this out once again. It was moving 55 miles per hour off towards the east. So Brinkley, I know you'll be next. Clarendon as well, Stuttgart. So here's the latest for the timing on this, for this line of storms that has a history of producing very strong winds up to 65 to 70 miles per hour. Carlisle, 11:39, 11:55 in Searcy, 12:05 in Stuttgart, 12:15 in Brinkley, and just after 12:30 in the Palestine area. So this storm's racing off towards the east. That's why we're starting to quiet down for the majority, at least in the storm realm here in Little Rock. But we're still dealing with the flash flooding that likely came from this 12 or maybe an inch or so that quickly was produced from this storm in 30 minutes. So looking to see if there's any more pictures that you guys are sending of us back home of any damage or any flooding that's ongoing in areas of central Arkansas. We've had reports of that throughout the morning today, and we will likely continue to do so here across central Arkansas. So still seeing some pictures and stuff of flooding in the same locations there in Hot Springs Village, Traskwood, Saline County. I know our very own morning anchor Stacy Spivey has sent us some pictures as well, but power outages, it's been numerous. I'm going to take some iDrive cameras as well to show y'all that line of storms that's approaching areas of Lonoke County, moving off towards Hazen and those locations. Don't want to be out on the roadways for this storm. Cam, I don't know if you can take our storm scan here, but here's that storm moving through areas of Lonoke County. Semis traveling, it's probably on the back end of it here in those locations, which is some good news, but still likely seeing some flooding issues coming out of this storm as it slides off towards the east. Here's near Carlisle. So this is about to move right in here. So we'll stay with this camera for a second. You can see it's kind of bouncing up and down there. Those strong winds are getting ready, or right now imminent, about to move into the Carlisle area. So anybody out traveling, if you know anybody on I-40, tell them to pull to the side, maybe pull into a gas station or something and just ride this storm out. You don't want to be on the roads there. You can see the semis as they're traveling eastbound. They're putting on their, or excuse me, westbound. They're putting on their brakes and stuff as they're driving into this storm. So cameras shaking up and down. You can already see the mud, the water that's just sitting there on top of the median and other locations just off the road there. So once this heavy rain moves through, producing 2-3 inches. I mean, look at the winds coming in right on cue here. You can see it blowing right in there. Those little rain curtains, meaning there's some pretty strong winds as this moves on through here. So this is looking towards the Carlisle area off of the iDrive RDOT cameras. As people head eastbound and westbound there on I-40 with this severe thunderstorm. So you can see that strong winds coming off the draft there of those semis. So we're watching that in other spots. So Cam, go ahead and take Max 1 again so we can show you where this line of storms is now moving towards. Little Rock, starting to get out of the clear of this. There's still a severe thunderstorm warning, but likely more for the storm that's stretching all the way down towards Sheridan and along 167, all the way down towards Fordyce, all the way down towards Hampton and Smackover. There's still that line of storm stretching there. But I think the strongest of winds are the ones stretching from Carlisle up to the BB area. So it's moving right through BB as we speak. Garner, you would be next around 67 or 57 now. They're heading towards Searcy, Bald Knob, those locations. That's where some high winds could be moving into those locations. So also still tracking the latest updates for power outages and any damage reports here. The National Weather Service just a little bit ago talked about there was a 69 mile per hour, so just around 70 mile per hour wind gust that went through North Little Rock and actually Adams Field here in Little Rock. So this storm has a history of producing strong winds and power outages. We're seeing a ton of power outages out of the Little Rock Metro and towards Hot Springs, Saline County down towards South Arkansas as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you those power outages here across the state, because we're now over 100,000 power outages in the state of Arkansas, most of them here in just two counties, really, Saline County and the Little Rock Metro in Pulaski County. Almost 50,000 power outages in Pulaski County, and then over towards areas of Saline County, still looking at 21,000 or just under 22,000. So we'll likely see more outages rise up in Lone Oak, over towards White County as well, and eventually Prairie County as this storm slides off towards the east, producing 60, 70 mile per hour winds. So people still driving out there on I-40 around the Carlisle area where that storm is impacting them right now. Not as heavy as rain as what we saw in the Little Rock area, but I know it's likely producing some torrential rainfall. So flash flooding concerns increase as this storm moves through your location if you're impacted from that. So we'll go back to camera one, or max one now, Cam, and we'll also put another play of this storm as it slides off towards the north and east. So areas from Rosebud all the way down towards Carlisle, and Des Arc would be next in line of this storm, producing some strong winds. It's moving at about 55 miles per hour. Searcy, 11:52, so that's here in 9 minutes, or around 10 minutes roughly. Bald Knob next, 12:04, Brinkley, McCrory, and then Forest City by 12:30. So if you know anybody living in those areas, or if you're living in those areas yourself, history of producing strong winds, so stay away from windows, don't go outside, just kind of ride this storm out, because it's moving off very quickly towards the east-northeast. So we'll look at velocity again here to see the winds in the storm, and you can still see in those little reds, the brighter the reds there towards Garner, all the way down towards Carlisle, usually pretty indicative of some strong winds moving through those locations. So here in Little Rock, we're looking much better than we did, but all that rain still has to go somewhere, and that's why we're seeing a flash flood emergency for the Little Rock Metro due to the heavy rainfall from this system that just blew through, and because of the heavy rainfall that we've experienced the last 3 to 4 days. This has been a multi-day event that we've been tracking with y'all here since Wednesday, and we've had a ton of rainfall. We've had some severe reports as well. I'm trying to see on the camera there. Looks like there might be a power line or something arcing there on the southwest corner of the camera there, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Might actually zoom into that location there here pretty shortly. But so that usually means there was some high winds that was causing maybe a tree limb or something that's causing some sparks there on areas of, I would assume, maybe 630 there. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. So send us your pictures safely if you have any tree damage or any power line damage that you're seeing in the Little Rock area or just towards Saline County as this storm continues to slide off towards the east. Here's what we're seeing, the latest on this line, as it is continuing to move away from the Little Rock Metro, but towards Searcy and areas off towards the north and east. Des Arc again, it is moving through the Carlisle area. They're still continuing these severe thunderstorm warnings, and also still continuing the flash flood emergency here in the Little Rock Metro. If you've never heard that before, it's because it's rarely issued, those flash flood emergencies. That's usually a rare thing that usually this circumstances like we're seeing now is why they would issue it, is the heavy rainfall that we've seen the last couple of days leading to some issues where we've seen 7, 8 inches or even more in this 2 to 3 inch event that just moved through. None of that rain can go anywhere, so it's going to run off into some low-lying poor drainage areas. So there will be some flash flooding issues still continuing on from that. We've seen plenty of pictures of it, and I'm still continuing to search for pictures online for people here in central Arkansas. So we're going to continue to track it off towards the east at 55 miles per hour. Flash flooding continues all the way for the majority of the state. We'll show you the map again of the flood warnings, flash flood warnings, and the flood watch there. There are still numerous flash flood warnings. I mean, all those dark green areas, those are flash flood warnings. That's a majority of the state, at least around I-30 and off of I-40, or along those areas and off towards the north, that are under some sort of flash flood warning, from either the regular base flash flood warning to a considerable flash flood warning into the flash flood emergency. So the higher up you go in those, meaning the more likelihood that there's flash flooding ongoing in your location that could be life-threatening. So you don't want to come upon any of that flash flooding here. So best just to stay home as we go into the rest of the afternoon today until we clear up later into the evening hours tonight and so forth further. So Cam, I don't know if you can go ahead and take storm scan, because we're looking at a couple pictures here. Looks like there's some kind of U-Haul loading dock or loading zone area here. This one's sent to us from Kim out of the Sherwood area, so near Little Rock. You can see, I mean, it's kind of leaning on its side there, so those strong winds tried to, knock this thing that's almost, I mean, it's almost concreted into the ground. So very strong winds from this line of storms that's sliding off towards the east. Here's some more damage pictures we're starting to get in here. You can see that pine tree falling near that home. Thankfully, hopefully they don't have any damage there with the home itself. But the soggy ground's causing these concerns with the strong winds mixed in along with it. So power outages still sitting around 100,000 for central Arkansas, mainly for Pulaski and Saline County. The main culprit for this, around 50,000 in Pulaski and around 30,000 for areas of Saline County in terms of power outages. So this storm is producing some strong winds. On top of that, the heavy rainfall that we've seen causing the grounds to be very, very soggy, and makes anything really, just a little gust of wind can easily blow things over. So we'll take Max 1 again, and I'm going to step in front of camera here so I can show you where that line of storms continues to slide off towards the north and east. When we look at something indicative for strong winds, damaging winds, is those bowing line segments, and that's what we're seeing here. You can see that kind of backwards C bowing out towards areas of Searcy, from the Rosebud area, McRae around areas of 67, 57 there, Carlisle, I-40 off towards the east. So this location has the greater concern for very strong winds. Des Arc would be next in line as this slides off towards the north and east, and maybe heading towards the Brinkley area pretty shortly as well. We've brought up a couple of times in spots and locations for that. Here's the latest scan. It's right on the doorstep there of Des Arc, sliding off towards the east. So those backwards C-shaped bow echoes, are notorious for producing some strong winds typically, especially in today's days like today. So that storm sliding off towards the east. We're looking at flash flooding from this storm and for the last couple of days as well. Further look down towards South Arkansas from Pine Bluff all the way down towards Star City, Rison, Fordyce, Hampton, along 167 there all the way down towards El Dorado. This line of storms continues, and it's severe warned. We're still seeing a severe thunderstorm warning all the way down towards the Arkansas-Louisiana border. Some very strong winds, especially here in the northern end of this storm as it slides over I-40. So flash flood emergency still continues for the Little Rock Metro. I'm assuming still until 12:15, and what that means is there's life-threatening flash flooding likely ongoing from this event, from this rain that just moved through less than 30 minutes ago. So don't get caught in any of that flash flooding. Don't go out if you don't need to. Just wait this out in the line of the storm and behind the storm. Just wait a couple hours until things start to improve here in the state, because we will improve here in the next coming hours. I can pull up Future Track for you, and we can break this down, the timing on the rest of this line of storms here as we go through the rest of this afternoon. So we're stopping this around 12:30, and it might be a little fast because I think we're still not even noon yet. So the line stretching from Batesville, Pine Bluff, all the way down towards El Dorado, and then off towards the east by 3 o'clock. That Boeing line segment, that C-shaped, should maybe be towards the West Memphis area as we go into the earlier afternoon. Watching still heavy rainfall continue, back building potentially towards Little Rock, but not quite as heavy as what we just experienced. Watching southeast Arkansas for the later severe threat in the afternoons because we got some cold air filtering in behind this system. By 5, 6 o'clock, the main severe threat really starting to wind down east of the Mississippi. Rain continuing on here in the Little Rock metro, and good news, some clearing out towards West Arkansas. And once we get done with the rain for today, we're not really seeing any rain anytime soon. So really good news after some hard-hitting days here across the state of Arkansas since this past Wednesday with that tornado outbreak. The severe thunderstorms on Thursday, severe thunderstorms, heavy rainfall yesterday, and then now what we're seeing here. So we'll look at temperatures as well. I was telling you about the colder air. We're now at 50 degrees here in Little Rock. So severe threats really wind down for central Arkansas, Arkadelphia, Texarkana, that sector from Stuttgart all the way up towards Poinsett County, west of West Memphis, those locations down towards the south and east. That unstable air still is down towards areas of southeast Arkansas. So damaging winds, maybe an isolated spin-up tornado in those spots. But here in central Arkansas, we're going to be cold like this for the remainder of today and then into tomorrow as well. So we'll look at a couple more scans of this as it slides off towards the east along areas of I-40 down towards Desart, Searcy, Augusta, Bradford. So closing in on areas of Jackson County. This storm, again, has a history, if you're just now joining us, of producing some very strong winds through the Little Rock metro, 60, 70 mile per hour winds, doing some damage there. There's a couple reports of even stronger winds as this slid off towards the east-northeast. So we'll continue to monitor our chime-in pictures at KATV.com/chime-in so we can see if there's any damage reports, just videos from that, and if there's any other flash flooding reports as well. Still seeing several images coming in from viewers of trees and power lines down out of areas of central Arkansas from this line of storms. I don't know if we can take the storm scan computer again, Cam, and show you some power lines down here around Crystal Valley location. I'm assuming somewhere here in central Arkansas. That could be near Little Rock or Saline County. There's some of those power lines down there. Again, don't come up towards those if you come upon any power lines. There's tree damage there as well. Another picture sent to us of trees being snapped from these strong winds. This picture sent to us from Hunter Gibbs from this line of storms that's moved through. And we've also seen, instances of flash flooding all across areas of central Arkansas throughout the morning today, and we'll continue to do so as well. Now, the latest from the power outages tracker, almost 110,000 out here in the state of Arkansas. You can see the Lonoke County outages have risen up to over 1,000. Prairie County is probably rising now around 100. So this line is producing strong winds that are causing power outages. Over 55,000 in Pulaski County, and just under 22.5 thousand power outages. And we're seeing power outages extend all the way down towards Clark County, Dallas County, and off towards areas, maybe over towards Washita County as well. So additional storms, the good news, we'll start to wind down once we get further into the evening hours. But continue sending us your pictures at KATV.com/chime-in safely, and we'll continue to monitor those. Back to storm scan, or excuse me, Max 1 Cam, where this line of storms is at, from areas of Searcy down towards Carlisle, Jefferson County, all the way down towards El Dorado and those locations. So like I showed you a little bit ago, we'll put it in motion for you. That Boeing C, that backward C Boeing segment moving through Searcy now. So strong winds moving into Searcy towards the Denmark area. Carlisle is getting on the back end of this as well. So we'll time this out again where this line of strong winds is located at, from areas of Desart down towards Searcy. This is moving off at 55 miles per hour, kind of just riding along in north of I-40 there. Bald Knob, next 5 to 10 minutes it'll be there. Brinkley, about 12:20, McCrory as well, around 12:20. Wynn, about 12:41, so that's getting out there towards Cross County and down towards Forest City as well. So this storm's moving quickly off towards the east out of the Little Rock area, but we're just really concerned now about the flash flooding due to the heavy rainfall that just moved through here. The National Weather Service still has that flash flood emergency out for the Little Rock Metro in Pulaski County due to just how much rain we've seen the last couple of days. It can't go anywhere except for low-lying areas. Creeks and streams are going to be overrunning. We've seen numerous instances of that so far today. So stay away from flooded roadways, stay away from flooded creeks if you live in a low-lying area. Try to find higher ground if you can. That water will find a way somewhere. So we want to avoid any possible incidents from any flooding today. It is one of those silent killers that people don't typically think about when it comes to severe weather. They think of tornadoes and even damaging winds, but flash flooding is a big-time issue when it comes in terms of fatalities in the United States. So we want to avoid that. Thankfully, hopefully we can here in the state. So we'll take a closer look. I'll step on screen here of where we're tracking that line of storms now towards areas of Batesville, Searcy, Desark, closer to Brinkley now. That little Boeing segment right there is where those highest winds have been reported since Little Rock. So around 60, 70, I mean, even up to 75-mile-per-hour winds been reported as this slid off towards the east. But this line extends all the way down towards El Dorado and southeast Arkansas. So there's likely 60-mile-per-hour winds, maybe some small hail. But the heavy rain is also a major concern as this continues to slide off towards the east. And thankfully, haven't seen any notches or any areas of rotation that could produce a tornado. But strong winds of 60, 70, 75 miles per hour do damage enough where you'll see power outages and even trees down on homes and stuff. So just a strong line of storms that will continue and we'll track for you here. And we also have Chief Meteorologist Barry Brandt who's came in here, and he'll get situated here in a second, and then he can also help out with tracking additional storms here, or at least this line of storms through the state of Arkansas. So I'm going to continue to track radar for you. I'm going to continue to track your pictures that you're sending in to us on KATV.com/chime-in. They're very helpful when you do so safely, so we can relay those reports to the National Weather Service. They're very helpful, and we thank you for that. And thank you for bearing with us, too. We're cutting into your program. We're sorry about that, but this storm has a history of producing very strong winds, damage through the Little Rock Metro, and continues to do so off towards the east, as well as the flash flood emergency. You can't not talk about that as well. We've seen numerous instances of flash flooding here across central Arkansas. So we'll continue to watch this storm sliding off towards the east. Still getting plenty of pictures in from viewers right now of damage reports after the storm just moved through areas of central Arkansas. Cam, if you can take storm scan again, we can show these viewers the storm damage left behind from this line of storms. This one's from Sherwood again. So many areas in the Little Rock area seeing, I mean, that's a large tree limb that is down there. So trees down likely, lots of power outages that we have been seeing from probably tree limbs of this magnitude falling down on some locations. So
Cantrell Road in the Heights down to one lane.
Okay.
Across Cantrell Road.
Okay. Tree around the Heights, Cantrell Road, there's a tree down. Chief Meteorologist Barry Brandt just relayed that. So they're down to one lane in those locations. And we've also seen plenty of locations due to flash flooding that are also shut down as well. We'll pull up the iDrive again. These little blue X's, little checks here, are areas that are ongoing with flooded highways that are shut down. So flash flooding is causing some bigger issues, more so than the severe thunderstorms here, because in a more wider variety of the state rather than the severe thunderstorm warning. So we'll continue to track this as it slides off towards the east. So if you can go ahead and take Max 1 again there, Cam. We're looking at that Boeing line segment there towards the Augusta area. Cotton Plant, Tupelo, Bradford, Newport, Pleasant Plains, those are the next areas in line for this storm that's quickly racing off towards the east-northeast at 55 miles per hour. So Stuttgart, Clarendon, Brinkley, you're also going to see some gusty winds from this down towards Grady, Star City along 425, around 167. Monticello, it'll be later here in the next hour or so, but Bradley and Calhoun County getting in on this storm here pretty shortly as well. Fordyce, Hampton, down towards El Dorado. So behind it, we're just tracking rain. Behind it and some cooler temperatures, but still flash flooding behind the system as well. So even though the system's through you and you're not seeing as heavy as rain, lightning, anything scary from that, if you get out, you have to watch out for flash flooding. So if you don't need to be out today, just stay inside and enjoy the day in the house if you can. But if you have to get out, please be very wary of flooded roadways, because you don't know what's under those roads if you come upon a flooded road. So turn around, don't drown's the motto we always say during flash flood events, and this is one of the significant ones that we can have here in the state of Arkansas that we've had here in quite some time. So we'll look at velocity here, the winds in the storm, see if we're still seeing some evidence of strong winds, and we are. They're stretching from Des Arc, from a little bit towards the Georgetown area, west of Augusta, north of Stuttgart as well, around I-40. So this storm, again, sliding off towards the east at 55 miles per hour. Severe warning stretching all the way from Independence County, Jackson County, to the Arkansas-Louisiana border. So this is a strong line of storms that means business, and we've seen that throughout central Arkansas so far this early afternoon. So latest power outage is still under 110,000, mainly out of Saline County and Little Rock, due to the strong winds that have moved through. Still also watching the National Weather Service and their relay chat for any other damage pictures, any other wind reports. We're still seeing quite a bit through here. Large trees down covering roads in several locations here in central Arkansas, and that's also due to how saturated the grounds are. It won't take much to get a tree to fall down due to how much rain we've seen here in the last 4 days. So this line continues off towards the east-northeast. Here's another look at Little Rock. We just have a little bit of rain here, but if you were with us earlier, you saw no visibility at all. A nasty shelf cloud that moved through, and the winds were just bobbing up and down with the camera. So back look at the flood watches and flash flood watch and flash flood warnings. It's a majority of the state as this line moves through. All those darker greens are flash flood warnings. That's ongoing flash flooding, including the flash flood emergency here in Little Rock, and we still have the threat for flash flooding until Sunday morning. That's why there's that flood watch until 7 a.m. And then we have to really turn our attention to river flooding, because all that water is going to run off into tributaries and eventually into these rivers throughout the state of Arkansas. So that could end up being on the major side of things. So back to radar here where this storm is located at now, towards areas of Carlisle, Augusta, Clarendon, Stuttgart. That Boeing line C segment there is now near Bradford and Augusta, just moved through the Searcy area. We've seen reports of damage from this line of storms through the Little Rock Metro all the way towards the north and east. Judsonia would be next in line for this as well. And we'll monitor maybe some more traffic cameras as this line continues to slide off towards the east-northeast. So Bald Knob, you'd be next in line for this storm. Tupelo, McCrory, along Highway 49, eventually towards Fisher and off towards Cross County, near Hunter and Brinkley as well. So we'll continue to time this out. This leading edge is near McCrory, moving off towards the east-northeast at 55 miles per hour. So McCrory, you're next in line in the next couple of minutes. It's right on your doorstep. Just get away from windows. Don't go outside. Just ride this line out. 1223 there in Newport, 1234 in wind, then moving towards the Jonesboro area, out of our viewing area, but still likely could impact some areas of the northeast portion of the state. So if you have any family up there and any of these locations, if you're located there, just go ahead and stay away from windows and just wait for this storm to ride on out. Because it's moving rather quickly. So we've been tracking it since it was in Saline County, leaving Garland County into western Pulaski County, areas around 4:30, 6:30 off towards the east. So this storm is pretty potent in some locations. So we're still, I'll turn it over to Storm Scan here and look at the latest for the power outages. If we can do that, Cam, we could show that the power outages have risen back up to 115,000 now throughout the entire state. Most of those people that are out of power are in Pulaski County and over towards areas of Saline County, where we're seeing about closer to 60,000 Pulaski and 23,000 in Saline County. Hot Spring County up to 4,000, Grant County, and they're rising in Lone Oak and Prairie County as well. 1,500 just about in Lone Oak, and up towards areas of White County. 2,000 power outages. So storm slides quickly off towards the north and east. Once it does so, that's the damaging winds you have to worry about, heavy rainfall, dangerous lightning. Behind it is the flash flooding that we'll continue to see here across areas of central Arkansas. So we're going to continue to watch your pictures that you're sending in to us as well on KATV.com/chime in, because we've seen numerous pictures of damage like this one, I believe out of the Sherwood area, tree limbs. I mean, very thick tree limbs that are snapped. Another tree down here from Brandy from this storm. You can see they're just laying there on the ground, and look past that too. You can see all those flooded flooding waters there across the yard. So flash flooding is still ongoing as well for areas of central Arkansas. So go ahead and take Max 1 again. We'll continue to show where this storm is sliding off towards the east-northeast, over towards Bald Knob, towards Batesville, Augusta, the Brinkley area, Fisher, all the way down towards Clarendon and Stuttgart. So Pine Bluff, you're on that leading edge now of that line of storms moving in. So heavy rain, dangerous lightning moving into your location, and all the way down towards Risen, Fordyce, Bearden, Hampton, El Dorado, Smackover, right in the middle of this storm as well. So continuing to see severe thunderstorm warnings extend out as this line moves to the east till 1 p.m. now in some of these locations like Bradley, Calhoun County. Next in line would be Pine Bluff. Carlisle's getting on the back end of this. Clarendon, Brinkley, you're next in line, and off towards the north and east. So Pleasant Plains, Newport, Diaz, those locations about to see this line of heavy rain and likely strong winds moving up 67, 57 there in Jackson County towards Oil Trough. I'm trying to think of some other names off the top of my head in the Jackson County area. So those areas have been hit hard in the last month. So this is, don't want to see any more damage come out of this, but just stay away from windows if you're in the path of this storm as it slides off towards the east-northeast. Hunter, Brinkley, those locations, you're next. So here in Little Rock and off towards the west, we're just dealing with some back-building rain, but I just showed you a minute ago, and we'll show you again, temperatures here in central Arkansas and off towards the west. They were colder. We're talking about 50, 57, 53 in Hot Springs, 40s northwest Arkansas. The area of concern, even though it's not catching up there, Stuttgart 59, will continue to be the southeast corridor of the state of Arkansas for severe thunderstorms and over towards east Arkansas as well. So along that line is the biggest concern. And once that moves through that line, severe threat winds down tremendously, and then we just make our main focus towards the flash flooding threat that we've already been seeing here this morning, overnight, and really the last couple of days as well. So that line sliding off towards the east. We can also talk about, flash flood awareness, flood safety tips. If you're under a flash flood warning, especially a flash flood emergency, you want to move yourself to higher ground. Of course, do not attempt to drive through any flooded roadways. Even if you have a large truck, it doesn't matter. 2 feet of rushing water can carry most vehicles, including SUVs, away. 1 foot to float vehicles. Don't want to see any stalled vehicles. And don't drive around any barricades. We're seeing numerous roads shut down due to flooding concerns and flooded roadways. So do not drive around that. Just try to find an alternate route if you can. And just don't get out. if you don't have to today. I know it's Saturday. I know people like to go out, go to the store and enjoy their weekend, but today's one of those days where you just might have to just wait till tomorrow to do so, because we're still tracking that flash flooding concern into the afternoon and into the evening hours. So we're going to take you back to radar where that storm is currently located at. They're in East Arkansas, off towards areas of Jackson County, Newport, McCrory, Brinkley, Clarendon, those locations, Stuttgart, Pine Bluff. They just added a new severe thunderstorm warning there for parts of Cross County and off towards the east, towards Mark Tree. So still waiting to see more reports out from the National Weather Service. We've seen numerous reports, 60+ mile-per-hour winds from this storm as it slid off towards the east. The emergency managers concerned still in Pulaski County about some water rescues that they've had today, but they're also concerned because they're seeing, like Chief Meteorologist Barry Brent said a minute ago, there's multiple locations with trees down in roadways, on power lines, and on some homes. So there's going to be some cleanup duty in some spots, and going out and sightseeing just not the thing to do today, especially with the flash flooding that we're continuing to see. Barry, I don't know if you got your...
Yeah, yes, I think we're ready
Okay.
to go. Am I on here?
Good deal.
All right, folks, we're going to be looking at this line as it continues to move on out. I was ready to come into work this morning, and then the wind began to really pick up and move through the Little Rock area. And so we had to wait just a little bit. But I will tell you that driving around through Little Rock right now and in a number of spots around the state, there are power outages, there is flooding. Cantrell Road has numerous trees down, and we're going to have a kind of a picture of what that is. I've got some photos for you, but Cantrell Road, just at the top of Cantrell Hill, is down to one lane. And on Spruce Street, there's a tree down. I'm hearing other spots in the Heights with trees down. There are trees down on Cantrell Hill, and there are areas of very, very heavy rain down when you go down Cantrell Hill, and water across the roadways. And I know that's not any news to some of you out there, but for some of you, as Austin's been mentioning, do not get out. We continue to have this area of bowed out wind, almost like a small area of low pressure that has really intensified as it has moved up through our area. And as it went through, wow, did it lay down a lot of rain and a lot of wind. So there still is that potential, and it's racing off to the northeast, already through Searcy, already through Bradford, Pleasant Plains, and moving up to the northeast. And it will continue to move off to the east very, very rapidly. We don't see a real tornado potential with this, and you wouldn't think with winds of this high, straight line winds of this high, that you would really have a big tornado potential, and it's quite cool outside, at least in the central and northern part of the state. We would look for South Arkansas, some storms that could potentially start to go up a little bit later on, but this is an amazing event moving through our area. Winds down in South Arkansas are going to be strong. There are severe thunderstorm warnings for places like Pine Bluff. You can see that line moving through there. We're going to watch for any notches along there that could rotate. The temperatures are a little warmer down in that part of the state. There is some instability in southeast Arkansas. Here are the temperatures around Arkansas right now. You can see it's 75 at Pine Bluff, 77 at Monticello, but it's a cold, I would say cold, 50 degrees here in Little Rock. A lot more pictures are coming into us now. I'm going to show you one, the Cantrell Road one, in just a little bit. But for now, we'll go back to the radar. Austin is working on getting some of those pictures to you of just what has happened here, and what a mess that we've had to endure here. But the big bowed out sea, the backward sea, is where the winds are strongest, and really at the top edge of that is where we're seeing the strongest of the winds. Pleasant Plains right now looks like real wind potential there, moving up into Independence County and the western part of Jackson County as well. And Austin, I think you're getting some more of those. We'll go back to that, but I'm going to show you some areas here in the Little Rock area, what I was talking about on Cantrell Road, top of Cantrell Hill, and on Cantrell Hill there are trees down as well. This has been quite an event. All right, that's not what we're wanting to look at right now. Let's go over to Austin if we can. Austin, are you ready? We'll go back to this. I'll tell you what, this was 3 weeks ago in West Little Rock, and there were wildfires in West Little Rock. Amazing, right?
Yeah, and this picture sent to us is from Lee Avenue. I'm assuming if you're familiar with that area. Looks like an old tree that got snapped there at the base, likely from the high wind. So that's not even showing you that it was the saturated grounds. It was that strong of winds that snapped the tree at the base there, and you can see power lines that were brought down with it as well. So that's why we're seeing those power outages in and out of central Arkansas, is due to these high winds that are continuing to move through areas of East Arkansas, Barry.
Yeah, it's amazing. It looks like the Heights and Hillcrest area has been hit really hard. There are some spots out in West Little Rock, out west on Markham and Chenal. And I'm going to show you one here. If we can. Well, hang on one second here. I'm going to be...
Still getting numerous pictures of flash flooding as well,
right.
in and out of central Arkansas.
Right. All right, here we go. If we can, this is, just a second, this is Cantrell. This is top of Cantrell Hill, and this is the tree, large tree, right at North Spruce there, that is blocking all but one lane of traffic at the top of Cantrell Hill. There are other trees down into the roadway on Cantrell Hill, but this is up in the Heights, up above Cantrell Hill there. And then you get to the bottom of Cantrell Hill, and there's water running across the roadways. It's a real mess. There are tree limbs, tree branches, in a number of spots around the city as well. All right, we continue to look at radar. It's racing so quickly off to the east that we're going to see this out of our area fairly quickly. But into the southeastern part of the state, there is an area of thunderstorms all the way from Cleveland County down to El Dorado. And that El Dorado severe thunderstorm warning is red bounded there. And that means a tornado is possible, says the Weather Service, with that storm that's moving down. So let's take a look at radar once again. And it's moving down. This is the Shreveport radar here, so way down around El Dorado. Velocity-wise on that, I don't see much going on, but there's an area of southeast Arkansas that's still quite warm. Monticello, Ashley, in the Deshay County, into Lincoln County, that is still really warm. It's in the mid-70s there. For us, though, it's the wind feature that went through central Arkansas that's now quickly pressing up into Batesville, and it will continue just to fire off to the northeast. These storms are not only moving very rapidly, I'll put this into motion, but they're putting out a lot of wind as well. You can see it's made a lot of ground in just the last hour and 15 minutes. It's already up into northeastern Arkansas. So if you're in Pleasant Plains and Oil Trough, do not take this storm lightly. This has gone through Augusta, through Tupelo, and it will be headed up into the Newport area. It looks like the strongest winds, though, are just east of Pleasant Plains and moving to the northeast. That's a severe thunderstorm warned storm. It's a broad area there along the leading edge of this. And you can see also tremendous amounts of rainfall along with it, too. I don't know how much we picked up here in Little Rock, but I'm going to guess over 2 inches of rain in about an hour. I think some areas could have had more than that. One thing that I do see, if we put this back into motion, there is still rain that's going to fall for quite a while. You can see all this moving to the northeast, but the back edge of this does appear to be coming into western Arkansas. Thank goodness. And until we can get this area of storms in southeast Arkansas into a relatively warm environment, until we can get it out of here, we're going to see a threat for more of those storms and maybe a small tornado threat here over the next couple of hours. Pine Bluff, you've had the rain really move on through, and it's cooled down, so the threat is going to be on off to the east of there. DeWitt, Dumas, down into Star City and Monticello. But this will not last all day. I think by the mid-afternoon, maybe at the rate it's going before then, we're going to see this start to wind down a little bit. That's the bowed out area, though, is moving up through Jackson County and Independence County over into Woodruff County, and it will quickly be moving out of our area of viewership here, moving into Lawrence and Craighead. It's amazing how fast this is going. Poinsett and Cross County very quickly, but it has certainly left its mark. I'm going to take you back in time for the last 2 hours and put this into motion, and you can see as it came through the Little Rock area. We'll go back to, this was 10:26, and then we moved to this was 10:48. About 11 o'clock, it's moving into the Little Rock area, and watch how this line really starts to bow out. And areas in in the central part of the city, I think saw maybe the majority of that. But again, it was it was bowing out very, very quickly. We're going to go for the last 2 hours again, and there it was right at around 11 o'clock. And look at the intense winds coming into West Little Rock, really corresponding to where the power is out to, moving through Jacksonville, Cabot, Beebe, and now it's all the way up into the northeastern part of the state. But a tremendous amount of wind with this system. Even on a day when it's quite cool outside, we're just on the backside of a boundary. This is the main system. Now, the National Weather Service from Memphis has issued a tornado warning for the storm that is exiting. This is exiting Woodruff County and moving into Poinsett and Cross County. And I think it's this little notch right here that they're looking at, right there along Highway 49. So it'll be exiting the Little Rock television market and moving into the Memphis television market. But if you're over there in eastern Woodruff County, Penrose and Morton, these are town names that we actually talked about last night, Weather Service in Memphis is choosing to put a tornado warning in effect for the leading edge of that bowed out line as it moves over into Cross County and eventually into Poinsett County.
Barry, I still got a couple pictures if you
yeah, let's
want
go
me to
back to
show.
you real quick and we'll watch that storm.
The pictures out of the Leewood neighborhood area, you can see that's a, full-size tree that got knocked over from these strong winds there, completely uprooted. Likely not helping that we had such soggy grounds due to the heavy rain that we've seen in the last couple of days. So that's why we're seeing all the power outages. Last I checked here several minutes ago was of 118,000 power outages in the state of Arkansas, more confined towards areas of Saline and Pulaski County and off towards the east now towards Lone Oak and even further around I-40. A big factor in today too was the flash flooding threat. This video sent to us from Sonia. This one's out of the North Little Rock area. There's likely some kind of stream or creek there that's well out of its banks, causing some flooding concerns there. Hopefully no roads are close to that or anywhere down the stream of that, because those roads would likely be covered with that flood water, and that's when we talk about when you come across anything like that, turn around, don't drown, because that moving water alone right there, only 2 feet of that could take your car and rush it down and cause a horrible situation. So we just don't want to see that here at all in Central Arkansas with the amount of flash flooding that we are seeing here across the state. That is one of many pictures that I've seen in video of the flash flooding that is ongoing here across areas of Central Arkansas. I know Chief Meteorologist Barry Brandt's also digging through some more pictures, but here's a look at some areas of radar because we're still tracking some rain here across Central Arkansas, but more notably that Bowling Line segment towards East Arkansas. We'll have it load up here for you. All the way there, you got 2 tornado warnings there in the Memphis area, just west of Memphis towards Mark Tree, Earlisle, those areas east of McCrory. Tornado warnings up there, but that Bowling Line segment, regardless if there's a tornado spin up on it, is likely producing some strong winds. That's still continuing to be a major concern as that storm slides off towards the east. and over towards areas of Pine Bluff. If you saw over an hour ago when we were showing when this line was moving through Little Rock in Pulaski County, there was some very, very torrential rainfall. It was blinding. There was zero visibility from this. So that's likely ongoing from areas from Pine Bluff off towards the south around Fordyce. The good news, not seeing a severe thunderstorm warning for Pine Bluff, but the flash flooding is the biggest concern there, and like many others here in central and southeast Arkansas, due to the amount of rainfall that we have seen here in the last 3 to 4 days. Barry, I see your new picture there. Is that the Cantrell?
Yeah, I just wanted, for those who are just joining us, we've had some tremendous damage in the Little Rock area, winds pushing trees down, and we kind of said that this was a possibility because of all the wet ground, and it doesn't take winds sometimes of 60 miles per hour to push trees down, but I think we did have wind gusts. I know at the North Little Rock Airport we had wind gusts of 67, and you think about it, the North Little Rock, let's go ahead and take a look at Max 2. This was a picture that I took. This is Cantrell and North Spruce Street, so in the Heights right there. We had to maneuver around with oncoming traffic. You had to move down, and just one lane is open, but one lane is open there. Other trees down on Cantrell Hill, still about 2 lanes open at the top of Cantrell Hill. And there was another tree down on North Spruce, only just a little bit away from there. So that was a wind maximum that went on through. But this was quite a system that went through, and it was almost like the winds of a weak tornado, because at the North Little Rock Airport, 67 mile per hour wind gust there. You think about it, it's up on top of the hill at around a 500, 550 foot elevation, and the Heights are about that same elevation. So some areas, I think especially on hilltops, and as you get east of town, out in just open areas, I think they got the worst of this wind. Now, not every tree is down, but I think we did have some wind gusts at 70 plus miles an hour, probably in some favored areas there, and it really exposes some trees that may not have quite the root system that others do. So over the last hour, you can see some wind gusts at 38 at Searcy. These are not updated. I think we're going to have more peak wind gusts, and I was trying to look at what the peak wind gust was at Little Rock Adams Field.
I think they said 60, close to 70, 69 miles per hour.
Yeah, so 69 miles an hour. That's tremendous. That's a severe wind gust. Trees and power lines down in many locations in North Little Rock. This from our meteorologist James Bryant on Fairway, North Hills. Large tree on a house off of Osage. The North Little Rock Fire Department on the scene there. A fast food sign along Warden Road was pushed over. Yeah, few water rescues, but multiple locations with trees down in Pulaski County. Some on power lines, some on homes, and that would explain the power outages that we're seeing with this. All right, we're going to stay with this bowed out area. Now, there are other severe thunderstorm warnings down in South Arkansas, but we're going to stay out with this bowed out area of wind in eastern Arkansas until it's out of our viewing area, because this has been a real damage producer. And then our attention will turn to southeast Arkansas. But for now, there isn't much in the way of, although there could be winds with that, we're just watching not a bowed out area, but all the way from Cleveland County down into Calhoun and Bradley County. But the area that was bowed out, really intersecting with some winds just above the surface and translating those winds down to the ground, is still from north of Batesville and Cave City to Tuckerman, east of Newport. And now the leading edge of that is moving over into Cross and Poinsett County. The National Weather Service in Memphis, has chosen to issue tornado warnings for the storm in St. Francis County and the one, I'm going to go to the Memphis radar right there, and the one that's entering into the west of Wynn in Cross County. So they have said we're going to issue tornado warnings with that, although I see no obvious sign of rotation. That is the peak. That is the peak area of this whole system, and the right out at the edge of that is where sometimes you get the biggest wind. That's where the upper level winds, or the winds off the surface, are intersecting with that line, and the storms are moving fast, and the wind is coming out of those, and that's where you can have some real damage. So all along from Weeder to Fisher and Wynn down to Forest City, those are the areas that are now under a tornado warning. Go to your safe spot. Go away from exterior walls and windows. And we're going to continue to watch these storms as they very soon will exit up into Lawrence and Craighead County out of Jackson County. And then our attention will turn into South Arkansas, where right now there is just one warning, I believe, in effect. Yeah, there's no more severe thunderstorm warning for Lincoln County because that's not really a bowed out area there. Strong thunderstorms, yes, but we're going to continue to watch that. And then we'll watch for any sign of rotation with that storm that's down into Union County as it moves up into Bradley County. For right now, I don't really see that, but it's a long way from the radar site, both Shreveport and the Little Rock radar site. All right, this is a rain event, and it's going to start. It's going to keep raining for most of the day. Put this into motion. You can see the heaviest rain is gone here, but we're going to have areas of light to moderate rain for hours to come, with the back edge now well down into southwest Arkansas. At least there's light at the end of the tunnel. Austin, rather, you have some more pictures of trees down on Cantrell.
Yeah, here's near Cantrell. We've seen numerous pictures of trees like this completely just knocked over. It looks like there's two trees that were close together that got tumbled over from those strong winds. This one's sent to us from Sioux Green near the Cantrell area. Also had another picture I just pulled up. This one sent from the Leewood area of another tree completely uprooted. It looks similar maybe to the other tree we showed you that was across the road there. It could be a neighboring tree to it. So we're just continuing to see numerous pictures coming from you out of the central Arkansas area due to the damaging winds that moved through about a little over an hour or so ago. But flash flooding as well, plenty of pictures. I mean, there's some locations I'm looking at some observations for rainfall estimates around in the last 3 to 4 days of 10 inches plus, and we knew there was going to be a heavy access somewhere that set up in the last couple of days, and that came in fruition around areas of central Arkansas. That's why we're seeing those flash flood warnings and the earlier, I still believe, flash flood emergency for the Little Rock area. So don't drive through any flooded roadways if you come upon them. And like I've mentioned a couple times, just stay home if you don't need to be out today. It's just a mess with the flash flooding. It's a double-edged sword. You got flash flooding and you got the severe thunderstorms that already moved through. So there's damage. You're avoiding it, trying to avoid it. It's just not the day to really go out unless you are a first responder or you just need to go out to work or something. So there's that line sliding off towards the east, continuing here on radar. That tornado watch still is in effect until 7 o'clock, but like Barry mentioned a couple times, temperatures are much cooler now here in Little Rock and off towards I-40 and off towards the north. So that I wouldn't be surprised soon to see that tornado watch dropped from areas of Garland County and I-30 and I-40 and more confined towards southeast Arkansas, because that watch still continues until 7 o'clock this evening. A closer look again at the flash flood warnings that we're seeing here across Little Rock, all the way up towards northeast Arkansas. All those darker greens, those are individual flash flood warnings. So flash flooding is happening in these locations. Almost the entire state's covered up in them right now. So still tracking that heavier rain. Slide off towards to the east there, still producing some high rainfall rates, 1 to 2 inches per hour as it slides off towards the east. So there's that line from Batesville heading towards Jonesboro, Poinsett County. Those counties just got hit hard on Wednesday from tornadoes. So I hate to see that line of storms moving there with tornado warnings. Hopefully it downtrends and weakens at least enough where it's not too much of an issue there, but those areas are about to get impacted by some heavy rainfall and lightning at least. We're still seeing some rain back build behind this line towards the Little Rock, Hot Springs, so our flash flooding concerns continue here, but the main severe threat is along in southeast and east of that line. So small window still for Chico County down towards Drew County, southeast Arkansas for severe thunderstorms as well as along that line. But the good news is they don't even have warnings, severe warnings from Pine Bluff down towards south and east of those locations due to the winds not likely being as significant, but still enough possibly to bring down some trees. So just ride this storm out as it continues to slide off towards the east. Barry, I'm not sure if you've seen any other reports of any damage here in East Arkansas, but still concerning look there on radar.
Yeah,
up
we're
towards
we're
those
still getting
areas.
in some. We've got some pictures in, and I'll have those coming up in just a little bit of from our friend David Basil at the Buzz. T Street and Keatley, right off Cantrell and Mississippi. There's some trees that are down there, and it looks like maybe even down into a house. I'm gonna have to analyze that a little bit, but I'm gonna try to get this as quick as we can. This is a wind event that has been unbelievable, and then it really turns to a flooding event. And I think there are some houses with water that are coming into them. So we're going to continue to watch. And it looks like the storms up in northeast Arkansas are moving in a very short order out of our viewing area. We can see that up into the northeastern part of the state. It's moving to the northern part of Jackson County now, through from Cave City to Tuckerman, and we'll stop it right there and put the wind component on there. But you can see the Memphis radar showing wind now moving through Fisher and Harrisburg, which is you folks up in Poinsett County there. It'll be moving up through Cache very quickly. And the leading edge, don't you think, James, the leading edge is where there is the potential really for the highest winds. And the National Weather Service in Memphis has said that Cross County and St. Francis County under a tornado warning there, but I don't see anything in the way of a notch there. No obvious sign of rotation, but there certainly is a lot of wind with those storms. So that is east of our area. And then the only other area that has a severe thunderstorm warning is Union County. Also, those a lot of you folks in Union County watching Shreveport television there for us. We do have some viewers, though, down in the El Dorado area. But this is just a strong line of storms, Pine Bluff to Rison. It'll be approaching Warren. These are not severe warned right now. There's going to be a lot of catch-up work that we're going to have to do because so many of you sent pictures to us through Chime In. Pictures and video, continue to do that, but do not put yourself in harm's way. And we want you to encourage you to send those to us because we know there's a number of spots without power now. James, I don't know, can you look and see just how many are without power?
The numbers dropped down to about 118 or 114,000 now.
114,000.
60,000 in Pulaski, and then still a heavy amount in Saline County of 23.
How many in Pulaski County?
60,000
Wow.
Customers out. And then Lone Oak, Prairie, all the way towards Woodruff and White, a combination of probably around 3,000 customers out.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable wind event. I think a lot of spots that are out in the open or up on hilltops caught a lot of this, but just some of the damage reports that we're reading from the National Weather Service, it just keeps going on and on and on. 60-mile-per-hour winds in Newport, trees and power lines, as we've said, down in North Little Rock, T Street and Keatley off of Cantrell in Mississippi. So these are higher elevation spots. Some water rescues, a few in Pulaski County, and we're going to continue to look at this. We have some other pictures that are starting to come in now. I have a picture again for this is it's going to be from from David Basil. I'm trying to send myself, but there are a number of spots where trees have come down on power lines. Let's go back to our radar if we can, and you can see the progression of this storm system. I'll put it all in motion, and we're going to go just over the last 45 minutes. Look how far it's gone just in the last 45 minutes. You folks in North Jackson County, far northeastern Independence County, really the last of our counties that have any severe thunderstorm warning in effect. And it continues to move off there very, very quickly. These are very strong wind producers, and the flood potential is really starting to ramp up as well, just because of what we've had. It's an amazing thing. Through the next couple of hours, we're going to watch southeast Arkansas for some limited threat. I'm going to talk a limited threat for tornadoes, and we're going to be here. Meteorologist Austin Burks done a great job this morning coming on as those winds were entering Pulaski County. Austin on the air. Hopefully you were able to take heed of his warnings. We often come on time for tornado warnings, but this wind event was really, really, unfortunately, it's going to be a big, big deal, and power is going to be out for a number of you for quite some time to come. We're going to be watching these storms as we head through the rest of this afternoon. I think the threat will really start to wind down here in just a couple of hours, but we're going to be with you until that threat is over southeast Arkansas, where it's still very warm. Thanks for trusting us this morning with your weather information, and I hope your power is on. I hope all your trees are still standing in your area, but we know a number of you have been affected. It's a big issue, and the flooding potential will continue as well. Stay here on Channel 7 for the rest of the afternoon, and we'll keep you informed.